Close your eyes. No, really, just for a second. All right, picture this. The year is 1921. There's no TikTok, no Netflix. The only thing you're scrolling through is, well, nothing. The only news you get is whatever the wind happens to carry. Now, you can open your eyes. You're standing in a field in Idaho. You can smell the horse sweat, the freshly overturned dirt. And you're just a 14-year-old kid. Everyone else around you, they're just seeing dirt, thinking about survival. But you're about to see the future of, like, the entire human race. And it's hidden right there in that dirt. This is the story of how television was literally invented in a field. So, that kid's name? Philo Farnsworth. And as he's looking out at these perfect parallel rows his plow just made in the ground, something just clicks. A crazy idea hits him. He realizes he's not just looking at rows for planting crops. He's looking at scan lines. I mean, just stop and think about how wild this idea was. What if you could take a picture, right? A single moment, and just slice it into 1,000 tiny little pieces, turn those pieces into electrons, and then just shoot them through the air, and then put it all back together somewhere else? It's like owning time itself, a truly radical idea. But here's the thing Philo is about to learn the hard way. Ideas are free, but making them real, well, that can cost you absolutely everything. So right when this incredible idea is starting to come to life in Philo's little lab, that's when the villain enters the story. And this guy was a real giant, David Sarnoff. He was the head of RCA, which basically made him the undisputed king of radio. And Sarnoff, he didn't just want to build television. Oh no, he felt it was his right to own it, to control it, to basically be the god of this whole new thing. So when he hears a rumor about some farm boy with a world-changing idea, he knew he had to have it. Sarnoff's playbook was pretty simple and totally brutal. Step 1, send spies into Philo's lab to figure out what he was up to. Step 2, offer him a pathetic amount of money for an invention that would change the world. And step 3, when Philo, this kid, actually has the guts to say no, Sarnoff doesn't just, make a better offer. He declares war. And this wasn't some quick battle. We're talking a 15-year war. RCA, this massive corporation with basically unlimited money, just poured millions into one thing, proving that some kid from a farm couldn't possibly outsmart their empire. They buried him in lawsuits, they stole his patents, they copied his work, they just did everything they could to wear him down and wait for him to break. It's a classic corporate strategy, right? It's power at its most raw. You just bury your opponent in paperwork. Lawsuits, delays, appeals. It doesn't even matter if you're right or wrong. The person with the biggest pile of paper, with the most lawyers, usually wins, even when they're lying. But here's the crazy part. Against all of that, against all the money and the power, Philo Farnsworth won. He actually won. The courts sided with him. He got the money. He got the credit. He was officially named the inventor of television. I mean, it sounds like a total victory, right? The little guy wins. But was it really? What's left of a person after a 15-year war? What does that kind of victory actually feel like? Because the truth is, the fight had taken pretty much everything from him. It broke him. So by the time the rest of the world was gathered in their living rooms, falling in love with his invention, watching shows like I Love Lucy, Philo was basically a ghost in his own story. He was completely cut off from the very thing he'd given his life to create. He'd look at a television screen, at his own invention, and he didn't see what he'd hoped